Leeds United 0, Aston Villa 0. A better point, I suppose, Stevie Nicol, for Leeds, given that they played the majority of the second half with just 10 men after Luis Sinisterra picked up a stupid second yellow card.
Yeah, if there's as happy as Marshall be with the point, he'll be disappointed in Sinisterra. I mean, you talk about being stupid. You're on a booking, so clearly, whatever you do, you have to be very careful not to do anything stupid. That would seem common sense, but I mean, sticking his leg out from that free kick, and of course, he puts his team under pressure. But you have to say Leeds deserve a lot of credit. They defended well.
Yeah.
You could also say that Villa weren't particularly great going forward. They had a couple of chances. Ollie Watkins probably should have scored. But the truth is, you always got that feeling that Villa just didn't have the keys today to open that door. So, yeah, Marshall will be happy with the point. Steven Gerrard scratching his head. 6 goals in, 8 games? That's not what you expect from Aston Villa.
No, it's not good enough. And they had enough of the ball. They had a lot of possession. I think you're spot on. I thought Leeds defended very, very well. And they got by the defence. Then Meslier was there to stop it. But it's just when you get put into a position like that, I'm not sure if you ever got sent off for doing something daft, but I'm sure you were in a dressing room when one of your teammates did. Is it just a case of he comes in afterwards, or when you go in afterwards and he apologises and you forget about it? Because it could have cost them more than it did for Leeds.
Well, it's kind of the point sort of limits the damage on the pressure he'll be under. That's pretty much how it goes. Had they lost the game, then yes, it would be a little different. There would be some eyes on him, some finger pointing, a few words from Jesse Marsh. But again, you've got to give the rest of his teammates credit for sticking it out. Villa with an extra man, people always talk about, sometimes it can be hard against 10 men. Well, the truth is, I think that's a lot of nonsense, that saying. The fact is, it should be the opposite. The team with the extra man should up it and should move the ball quickly. That means, regardless of how brave 10 men are, you shouldn't be able to get close to them. But that's not the case. Aston Villa did not up it, and they certainly didn't move the ball quickly, which meant that Leeds could defend the way they did. So, yeah, Aston Villa will absolutely have to sit down, go through this game and look and see where not where they went wrong, because they went wrong in the final third, but how did they fix it?
Yeah, and that's the key thing, Stevie, because there's a lot of creativity in that team. There's Coutinho, Douglas Luiz with the corners, Buendia when he gets the game time, Bailey, he's in there too, Ramsey. There's a lot of kind of talent, Watkins and Ings, but he doesn't seem to have found a way yet to make it all work. How does he do that? How do they get back among the goals and convert the chances that they're creating, Villa?
I think the key is the ball movement. When the ball's moving quickly, that's where your better players, they think quicker than everybody else. They do things without thinking. Natural ability, you don't need a lot of time on the ball. But when it comes to you slowly, it gives the defence time to close you down. When it comes to you quick, you get more time, you get more space, and you generally get more options. So it really is about moving the ball, and that's the key. As a coach, you can coach your team to get to the final third, but it's very difficult to coach your team in finishing. You can do drills, yes, and you can talk to them, but when it comes to stepping over that white line and doing it, that's the majority of the responsibility is on the players. And more Aston Villa players need to take that responsibility in the final third.
Talk about Leeds, Jesse Marsh in the stands, watching from the press box after complaining about the penalty at Brentford and being shown the red card. Again, there's quality in the team. Good to see Bamford slowly making his way back into the team, coming on as a sub. Aronson went off late. They'll be fine, won't they? Because they've got enough quality and talent in there. But where are their goals going to come from if Bamford doesn't get them or Rodrigo doesn't get them and they're not coming from midfield?
Well, that equals 0, doesn't it?
They need help.
I think what Jesse Marsh has got in this Leeds side is a team that will run from the first minute to the last minute, that will give everything, that will defend with their lives and their body and everything else. And of course, they're going to be heavily reliant on Rodrigo to score goals if Bamford can't get himself 100% fit. And then after that, you're talking about players chipping in. People like Harrison, people like Aronson, they're going to have to chip in. But I think there's worse sides than Leeds, and I think there are sides that don't have the togetherness that Leeds have. You know, it would be great if I could talk about Leeds having real quality from back, middle to front. But the truth is they don't. But what they do is they're organised, they have a lot of heart, and they don't let you settle. They get after you when they can. And I think that'll probably be just enough to keep them in the Premier League.
Yeah, both these two teams should be fine this season, but they both need goals, especially Villa, who against 10 men for the majority of the second half couldn't find a way past Meslier in the Leeds goal. Goalless it finished at Elland Road.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.